There comes a moment in life where you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, validate you, or make it happen for you. That's the moment you wake up and realize the truth: you make everything happen. You are the architect of your destiny, the commander of your choices, the engineer of your comeback. Nothing changes until you do. The world isn't holding you back, your mindset is. Your habits are. Your excuses are, and when you stop playing the blame game, when you stop giving your power away, and when you grab hold of your life with both hands, that's when you start making everything happen. Not someday, today. Own your power. You were not born to be average. You were not placed on this earth to simply exist, to go through the motions, to settle for scraps of your potential. No, you were born with greatness inside you. But the first step to living it out, the first key to unlocking that power, is this: you must own it. There's a power within you that can shift your whole life, but if you don't believe it, you'll never access it. You can't tap into what you don't believe you have. And this is where most people get stuck. They're walking around with brilliance bottled up inside, waiting for someone else to come along and give them permission to shine. Waiting for the right moment, the right person, the right sign. Let me tell you something: you're the sign. You're the moment. You're the one. You don't need a superhero. You don't need approval. You don't need a miracle from the sky. The miracle is waking up and realizing that you are the miracle. People will try to define you by your past, by your mistakes, by your environment. They'll try to limit you with labels, but labels are just someone else's perception. They don't define your potential. You've got to rise up and reclaim your identity, not the one the world gave you, but the one you were born with. That identity is powerful, capable, resilient, and destined. Here's the truth: when you own your power, you stop settling. You stop begging. You stop making excuses. You stop playing small in a world that desperately needs you to go big. You stop handing over the steering wheel of your life to fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. And don't get me wrong, owning your power doesn't mean life gets easy. No, it gets real. It gets intentional. You'll face challenges. You'll hear the voice of doubt. But this time you answer back. Because now you know who you are. You know what you carry. Owning your power means you stand tall, even when everything around you is trying to knock you down. It means you walk into rooms where no one believes in you, but you still believe in yourself. It means when doors close, you don't stop, you find another way in. People who own their power don't wait to be chosen, they choose themselves. They don't fear the process, they embrace it, because they know that growth is messy, but it's also magical. They know that inside the struggle is strength, inside the chaos is clarity, and inside every breakdown is the blueprint for a breakthrough. So if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been walking around feeling lost or invisible, hear this: you are not powerless. You are powerful. You've got ideas, dreams, and a destiny, but nothing changes until you claim it. Nothing shifts until you stop hiding. You've got to stand in your truth, speak with your voice, and live with your full force. You were never meant to be a background character in your own life. You were born to be the author, the director, the star, but you've got to pick up the pen. You've got to get back in the driver's seat. You've got to stop looking around and start looking within. Everything you need is already in you. And let me say this: when you finally own your power, you will become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Not because the world changes, but because you change your response to it. So today, make the decision, own your power, Speak your truth, chase your purpose, walk in your calling, be bold, be relentless, be fearless, because the moment you step fully into your power, the world won't know what hit it, and neither will you. Stop waiting, start creating. Let's get one thing straight. Waiting will not save you. Waiting will not build your dreams, heal your wounds, or move you forward. Waiting is the silent killer of potential. It's where dreams go to die, not in failure, but in hesitation. The world doesn't reward those who sit on the sidelines waiting for permission. It rewards the ones who get in the game, even if they don't have all the answers yet. You don't need more time. You need more action, more faith, more courage, and that starts right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Because someday is not on the calendar. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion that convinces you to procrastinate on your greatness. You've been taught to wait for the perfect moment when the money's right, when the timing's right, when you're more confident. But life doesn't serve perfection on a silver platter. It serves opportunity disguised as chaos. It offers doors that only open when you knock, not when you stand there staring at them, hoping they swing open by themselves. Creators don't wait, they move, they build in the dark. They speak before the fear goes away. They show up even when they feel unsure. And guess what? They fall, they fail, but they also learn, grow, and rise. What have you been waiting for? Have you been waiting for someone to validate your ideas? You are the validation. Waiting for someone to join your dream. Start alone. The right people will meet you on the path. Waiting until you feel ready. Newsflash, you may never feel ready. Do it anyway. Listen, you don't need more time. What you need is to believe that this moment is enough, that you are enough. You've already got the seeds, plant them. Stop standing at the edge of your potential, staring at the field of possibilities, afraid to take the first step. Just plant, just build, just move. People will tell you to be patient, but patience is not passivity. Patience is doing the work and trusting the process, not sitting around hoping life will deliver your dreams like a package. You've got to get messy. You've got to risk embarrassment. You've got to dare to start ugly. That first video won't be perfect. That first book won't be a bestseller. That first speech won't be flawless. But guess what? It'll be real. It'll be progress. It'll be the beginning of your momentum, and momentum beats perfection every single time. Here's what happens when you stop waiting and start creating. You build confidence through action. You attract opportunity through movement. You inspire others by leading with courage. You shift from a victim of your circumstances to a victor of your vision. No more standing still. No more hiding behind fear. No more giving power to excuses. This is your season to move. Your season to create. Your season to give birth to the dreams you've been carrying for years. Because here's the truth. The pain of regret will always outweigh the fear of trying. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Walk with it. Fear is just the GPS telling you that you're headed somewhere meaningful. So let it ride in the backseat, but never give it the wheel. You've been waiting too long. You've been planning and praying and preparing. Now it's time to execute. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. You don't have to know every step, just take the next one. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Because when you finally stop waiting and start creating something shifts inside you. You move from hoping to building, from dreaming to doing, from watching to leading, and that's where the magic lives. Turn excuses into execution. Let me say something straight, and I say it with love. Excuses are lies wrapped in good stories. They sound convincing. They feel real. They protect your pride. But at the end of the day, they don't build anything. They don't move you forward. They don't pay the bills. And they sure don't fulfill your purpose. Excuses are the bricks in the wall that stands between where you are and where you want to be. And if you want to break through that wall, you've got to tear those excuses down one by one and replace them with execution. See, everyone has a story. Everyone has a reason why they can't. Too tired, too broke, too old, too young, no time, no support. The list is endless. But here's the difference between winners and wishers. Winners find a way to turn those excuses into action. They don't ignore their challenges, they face them, and then they move anyway. You might have grown up without support. You might be struggling right now. You might feel like you don't have the education, the connections, or the resources. But you've still got one thing, the power to take a step. That's all execution is, one step, one move, one decision at a time. And every time you choose execution over excuse, you put one more brick in the foundation of your future. Now listen, I know some excuses come dressed up as valid reasons. They wear the clothes of logic. They speak the language of limitation. But just because they sound true doesn't mean they serve you. You've got to ask yourself, does this belief build me or block me? That's the test. If your belief is holding you back, it's time to trade it in. Trade your "I can't" for "how can I." Trade your "it's too late" for "now is the time." Trade your "I'm not ready" for "I'm willing to try." Here's the truth. You don't need the perfect conditions to get started. You need courage. You need hunger. You need execution. Because dreams don't work unless you do. Execution is what separates the talkers from the doers. It's what divides the dreamers from the builders. It's what moves ideas from your head into your hands. You see, everybody says they want success, but when it's time to execute, most people retreat. Why? Because execution is uncomfortable. It demands consistency. It exposes your weaknesses. It forces you to grow, but it also rewards you. Execution is the bridge to results. It's the path to impact. It's the tool that turns your potential into progress. Let me make it plain, you can either have excuses or result. But you can't have both. If you're serious about your goals, if you're truly committed to building the life you know you're capable of living, then every time an excuse pops up, you've got to interrupt it and say, not today. Not today, fear. Not today, doubt. Not today, comfort zone. You've got to rise above the noise in your head and get to work. Show up. Do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. That's execution. You won't always feel motivated, but you can always be disciplined. You won't always know what to do next, but you can always do something. Take one step, make one call, write one page, record one video. Progress lives in motion, so make a choice today, not a someday, not a maybe, a decision. Decide that your future is worth more than your excuses. Decide that your calling is louder than your comfort. Decide that your life will be built by execution, not explanation, because every excuse you bury becomes a seed of greatness, and every time you water that seed with action, with effort, with persistence, something powerful starts to grow. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not when everything's perfect. Now, No more excuses, no more waiting. Execute every single day. Build discipline over motivation. Let's talk about one of the greatest myths floating around. The idea that motivation is enough to get you where you want to go. Motivation is a great spark, yes, but if you're trying to build a fire with sparks alone, you're going to freeze out there. Motivation may get you started, but discipline is what gets you finished. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. It's emotional. It's influenced by your mood, your energy, your environment. You hear a good speech, you watch an inspiring video, and suddenly you feel fired up. But what happens when that feeling fades? What happens when life hits back, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when no one's cheering you on? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline says, I don't need to feel like it to show up. Discipline says, I made a commitment and my feelings don't get to cancel it. Discipline says, I'm building something bigger than my mood. See, motivated people do what they feel like doing. Disciplined people do what they've committed to doing. And that's the difference between dabblers and finishers. Between people who talk about it and people who live it. You don't need to be motivated every day. That's a trap. What you need is a system, a habit, a non-negotiable routine that keeps you moving even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when no one is watching. The gym isn't filled with motivated people. It's filled with disciplined people. Books aren't written on bursts of motivation. They're written by people who sit down every day, whether the muse shows up or not. Businesses aren't built on hype. They're built on disciplined daily habits, follow through structure. Discipline is what keeps you moving after the motivation has left the building. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. And skills can be developed. You weren't born with it, but you can build it. You train it every time you say, I'll do it anyway. Every time you silence the excuses. Every time you choose effort over ease. You don't need to love the process to be committed to it. You just need to love what it's building, what it's doing to your character, what it's doing to your confidence, what it's doing to your future. You want to know how to build discipline. Start with small wins. Keep promises to yourself. Create a schedule and honor it. Get clear on your why and revisit it often, because your why will feed your discipline on the days when your want to disappears. Let me ask you something real. What if you only got results based on what you did when you didn't feel like it? That's the test, because anyone can show up when they're inspired. But the real warriors, the real builders, they show up when it's cold, when it's quiet, when it's boring, when it's hard. Discipline is what turns amateurs into pros. It's what makes the difference between wishing and winning. It's the heartbeat of every champion. Look at the people you admire, the authors, the leaders, the athletes. You think they were motivated every day. Absolutely not. But they were disciplined. They had habits. They had systems. They kept going when others quit. Discipline is also how you build self-respect. When you do what you said you were going to do, even when it's uncomfortable, you earn trust with yourself. You stop being your own enemy and start being your greatest ally. So here's what you need to understand. You won't always be motivated. You won't always be excited, but you can always be disciplined. And discipline doesn't make life harder, it makes it easier in the long run. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Choose your weight. You can keep waiting for motivation to hit. Or you can decide to build a fire from within, a fire called discipline, a fire that burns every day no matter what's happening around you. This is your edge. This is your advantage. This is your anchor. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is you showing up and saying, I won't quit on me. Visualize, believe, achieve everything you've ever built in your life started with one thing, a thought. A single image in your mind, a flash of what could be. That's where greatness begins. The world you live in is created twice, first in your mind and then in your hands. So if you can't see it, you'll never seize it. If you don't believe it, you'll never become it. If you don't act on it, it will never happen. That's why this principle is so powerful. Visualize, believe, achieve. Let's break it down. First, visualize. See it in your mind before it exists in the world. Picture the life you want, not the one you're stuck in, not the one your past keeps whispering about, the one your soul is screaming for. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking in it, not just having the car or the home or the business, but being the person who deserves it. Confident, clear, committed. Visualize your future like it's already happening. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, and the more clearly you can see it, the more powerfully you can pursue it. Visualization is not fantasy, it's preparation. It's mental rehearsal for your destiny. Next, believe, because you can't outperform your belief system. If you don't believe it's possible, you won't take the steps. If you don't believe you are worthy, you'll sabotage your success. If you don't believe the door can open, you won't even knock. Your belief is the fuel behind your action. It's what gives your vision weight. It's what makes you resilient when things get rough, and trust me, they will get rough. But belief isn't just about repeating affirmations. It's about aligning your behavior with your vision. It's walking like it, talking like it, showing up like it. You believe it not when you say it, but when you live it. And here's the truth. Belief is a choice before it becomes a conviction. You choose to believe in yourself before the world does. You choose to back your vision even when no one else claps for it. You choose to trust that the seed inside of you is real even when the soil looks dry. Finally, achieve the last part, the part people dream about, but only a few ever reach. But not because they lacked the potential, no. They lacked the consistency, the faith, the endurance. Achievement doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who work, those who fall and get up, those who see obstacles and break through, those who understand that success isn't found, it's forged, and every win is earned, not given. When you visualize, believe, and put in the work, doors open. Opportunities find you, momentum builds, and one day you look back and realize you became what you once could only imagine. You want to change your life, start with your mind. See the version of you that's strong, focused, and relentless. Believe in that version of yourself fiercely, and then grind like your future depends on it, because it does. Here's the process, step by step. Start each morning by visualizing your goal with emotion, like it's already real. Affirm your belief not by just speaking it, but by acting on it. Show yourself that you mean it. Execute your plan daily, no matter how you feel, because consistency compounds. Reflect often. Measure progress. Adjust your strategy, but never your goal. Keep going, even when it's slow, even when it's silent, even when no one is watching. Especially then. The world responds to the person who believes deeply, moves consistently, and refuses to give up. So visualize it, believe it, then go get it. Don't wait for a sign. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The vision in your heart is your permission slip. It's your calling card, and if you'll trust it, walk in it, and work for it. The life you've been dreaming about will become your reality. You make everything happen now. Let's bring this home. You've heard the truth. Your power is not waiting out there somewhere. It's already in you. The strength you need, it's in you. The discipline, the resilience, the ideas, the determination, all in you. You make everything happen. Not your boss, not your past, not luck. You. The moment you stop handing out your power like candy to excuses, fear, or doubt, that's the moment you start changing the game. That's when you stop waiting for someone to choose you, and you start choosing yourself. You're not here to just survive, you're here to create, to lead, to grow, to rise, to live on purpose. And yes, it won't be easy. You'll have setbacks, you'll fall, you'll feel overwhelmed, but you know what? You'll also rise stronger, you'll learn faster, you'll move with deeper clarity, because each time life knocks you down, you'll remember, you are the one who makes everything happen. So stop underestimating yourself, stop playing small, stop waiting for someone to tell you you're ready. You are ready right now. This is your moment. This is your time. No more delays, no more excuses. No more shrinking into comfort zones. Stand tall. Look life in the eye and say, I am not hoping anymore. I am doing. I am becoming. I am making it happen starting today. This is your wake-up call. This is your turning point. This is your beginning. Now go and make everything happen.